by a rapper, okay, recently, that she believes most fans of women rapping are not really hip hop fans. They're just fans of the persona of the women rapping. They're fans of that individual, but they're not really hip hop fans. They're just fans of a particular artist.
Interesting.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so I would challenge all of us to start to examine that, because sometimes we are allowing people who are not hip hop fans to dictate the hip hop conversation, because hip hop is pop sometimes. It is the popular conversation. Mm-hmm. And so we're watching people who are just fans of whatever's popular talk about someone who happens to rap and thinking that's a hip hop conversation. It's not a hip hop conversation. It's a pop conversation. Mm-hmm. And those of us that really understand the culture of hip hop need to start to try to distill that down a little bit better. If that makes any sense.
Or ignore it?
Ignore it's an option too.
All right, so what do you think about that? Do you think that fans of hip hop today, and he specified female hip hop, I don't know if it matters, but are people fans of the person and not the art form anymore? And I think I know who he's talking about. But are they fans of the personas and not the art form? I think who came to mind immediately, who I think he's talking about, someone like Cardi B. Mm-hmm. Cardi B is just such a personality. Mm-hmm. Are people fans of Cardi B, or are they fans of Cardi B's music?
Well, I think for me, I think fan is the wrong word to use, right? Fan is the abbreviation of fanatic. Mm-hmm. And so I don't feel like I'm a fanatic of hip hop, but I am a fanatic of college football. I am a fanatic of NFL. Like I'm a fan of that, right? I don't know if you can be a fan of for me, I can't be a fan of a person. I can be a fan of something, but I can't be a fan of a person. So I don't say
but there are fans of people. Like for years and years and years, hip hop, there were fans of the art form, but today there are people that are just following people because they like them.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's the point he's making. Yeah. That there are people that are fans of Cardi B. They like to hear her talk. They like to hear her make jokes. They like to hear her respond to stuff. I don't know if they like necessarily her music. How many people how many of the people who buy her stuff are doing it because they like hip hop and they like the craft of hip hop?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? That's why I brought up the sports analogy, because I'm a fan of a team, right? But when that team player leaves the team, I'm not still a fan of that person.
This is a hard analogy to football because it's so different. It's a team. There's players on the team. It's a sport you would watch regardless.
Right, and that's why I say people have to be a fan of the art form and not the person. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can be a fan of hip hop, but you can like Drake. You know what I'm saying? I can be a fan of hip hop and like T.I. I personally don't call myself a fan of hip hop because of everything that it represented when I was growing up that I realize now was tainting my mind. So I can say I like T.I., I like Lecrae, I like their music, but I won't necessarily say I'm a fan.
So then you fit into this thing. Are you a fan of Lecrae because you are a hip hop enthusiast and you love the craft of hip hop? So then you are just a fan of Lecrae.
No, I like Lecrae.
You're a fan of Lecrae.
But I wouldn't have to say the word fan though.
You're hung up on.
I'm not a fanatic of Lecrae.
Forget fan. You like Lecrae. You don't necessarily like hip hop. That's the point he's making.
No, I like Christian hip hop.
You like the craft of Christian hip hop.
I do. I like, but here's the thing though, because we do what we do, it's hard to call yourself a fan when you consume so much of it.
I'm gonna challenge you on, you're a fan of the craft of Christian hip hop. Mm-hmm. You are a fan of metaphors, wordplay, on double entendres, multis. You're a fan of those things, or are you just a fan of the person
that edifies God?
What if
because I can listen to, because On the Radar, right?
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of the artists on the Radar. I don't know them. I'm not a fan of their music, but I like the song. I can like the song. I can like, some nice bars. So that made me.
So you're a casual fan of metaphors, multis, similes, entendres. You're
Right.
not like a deep super fan of them.
Right. Remember when I went through my phase of battle rap?
Yes.
I liked what Loso said. I liked what A Ward said. I liked street hymns. I liked the saga, but I wasn't a fan of the art itself. Right? You know what I'm saying. So I just liked that one person, and then I kept it moving.
So you agree with him?
I agree with him.
Okay. It took a long time to get. Jerry.
I am a fan of CHH. I can't really narrow it down to like being a fan of an artist because I don't know what that artist does in his personal life.
There you go. That's
So
a good one.
I'm
That's a good way to
more
say it.
a fan of the artistry of CHH
I think
versus a person.
But when you say artistry, I think that this is the difference. Hip hop heads. That's why I
Right.
wish Jeremiah was here. Hip hop heads. They love the punchlines.
Yes.
They love the references to other things. They love the bars,
Right.
the rhyme structure.
Right.
That's what they care about. So when somebody does it well, they're like, that kid is good.
Yeah. That's fine.
Versus,
Yes.
I like the personality of KB. I like the personality of Lecrae. I like what Lecrae represents. That's different than liking the craft of hip hop and picking the person who's best at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I do like the. I mean, yeah. So then what we're saying is what's correct. It's correct.
He's right. Ebro's
He's
right.
right.
Yeah.
He's right. People like, yeah. Now I think it does cross the lines to be dangerous. I would love to find a different word other than fan because I do think a fanatic of Beyonce is dangerous, very dangerous.
Okay.
Because I think you're to the point where you're almost. I mean, I remember a friend describing to me her experience at a Beyonce concert, and I'm like, we don't hear people talk about their worship experience like that. So why are we talking about? It was they described it as it was man was the word they used. It was so because when my eyes popped open when they said it. It was she didn't call it an experience, but it was transformative. They used some really strong words, and I'm like, the only thing supposed to transform you like that is the Holy Spirit and worship.
Bars and Beats said, if you cannot appreciate a rap song because you don't like the sound, then you're not a fan of rap. You're a fan of some artists.
Okay.
So,
That's interesting.
Jose Morgan asked him to explain. So let's see. Bars and Beats, explain what you mean. Because that's really it. There are people who are fans of the art of rap. There is a craft to it. It's poetry, all right? And as a spoken word artist, I can tell when somebody is good at spoken word. I can tell when somebody is good at rap. And whoever can do it, I'm gonna like that song. I don't care who it is. I'm not just a fan of the person. I'm a fan of whoever's good at it. There are people now that are just the fans of the people, and they could care less if they're good or not at it.
But it's just the way that you like it, though. But it has to be the way that you like it.
Yeah.
Here's a good example. I'm not a fan of spoken word.
Dang, bro. All this time?
No, but you were the first person that ever did spoken word that I listened to. So when you did it, I heard you do it on a Friday, and then I came back the next month to hear you do it again, and then the following month to hear you do it again, and then I met you. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I met you, what was the first thing I told you was, and I'm a big fan of your spoken word.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So I started coming back because I liked what you were doing, but I wasn't a fan. I've never in my life got on YouTube and
look
said,
for spoken word.
Let me look for spoken word.
Me neither.
Yeah. So like I'm saying, so it was me liking you as a person and how you delivered it versus
Okay. I get what you're saying. I think there's a combination of two things. You may not understand why you liked what I was doing, but I was using principles.
to edifying God. And that's what I said.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
You're using
as long as somebody is, but there were other people on stage doing that too. What's the difference?
I enjoyed them too. That's because how I
Okay, so
became
all
friends with
of
them too.
them. Okay.
I enjoy.
So
because-
you're a cheerleader of anybody who is able to do something
Present
for
God in a unique way.
In a unique way. Okay.
Yes, that's
Gotcha.
exactly it.
You're a fan of that craft.
Yes.
Got you. Okay,
Yes.
that's good. All right, so I don't know if Barton Beach responded yet,
He
but
did.
keep it. What do you say?
For Sora Jose Morgan. If you can't appreciate the arts, bars, metaphors, storytelling, despite how it sounds, boom bap or trap, you're not a fan of rap as a whole.
No, I'm not.
You have biases towards certain sounds.
Yes, I do.
So
Yeah, because I can't stand certain coasts. Yeah, just being honest. I mean, I'm from the South, so when I hear East Coast stuff, it's like if it's not. There's certain artists that I like. I like Method Man. I don't like Redman. I like Common.
We're gonna get canceled.
But and I like Jay-Z, but I don't. But I like certain songs. I don't have a Jay-Z album. I've never purchased a Jay-Z album.
Yeah, you're a casual rap fan.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah.
It's okay.